Thank you for that.
Could I just then bring up the issue of the SSSI?
Yes.
As we know, and within the detail, the proposed site is free draining land. That's its description of the land. And of course, the free draining land does then free drain into the SSSI.
Okay.
So there's an interlink. Not total surface, because there's a road in between, but subsoil, it will drain through the limestone into the SSSI.
Yeah.
And that has been the making partially of the SSSI. That flow of water into the SSSI. The concern of the Parish Council is that will be adversely affected. And I'm not quite gathered from these proceedings whether the SANG is to do with just predominantly surface water, or just surface water, or it's talking about all of the water that would be produced when a development is in place. In other words, effluent, surface water from properties, and this type of thing. Now, I hope you can understand that we're concerned that would have a massive adverse effect on the SSSI if it was leaked from the development into SSSI.
Okay.
So that's broaden that a bit, because I've not heard and understood what the SANG and the service plots, as we mentioned earlier, actually contain.
Okay.
So
I'm going to defer to the council.
Yeah, well, thank you, ma'am. And I think when we come to the conditions session and we look at what conditions may be appropriate, certainly surface water control is absolutely one of those. So you'll be welcome to engage in that part of the discussion shortly when we get through to the conditions.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Anything else you need to add to it?
No, it was just, if you look back at the old consultation responses before there was even the talk of the SANG land, I think one of the issues was always to do with water quality in the SSSI, and I think they were then satisfied that a drainage strategy could be agreed by condition, which could address those concerns. So that was part of the Wildlife Trust, and I think it was Wildlife Trust in particular that was saying that, and that was part of them withdrawing their objection.
Yeah.
Was that to do with the total water seepage and usage on site, or just rainfall? On rainfall on a developed site rather than rainfall on a field site?
It was in respect of the developed proposal. So the 14 dwellings and the associated roof areas and the carriageways and the car parking and so on and so forth. So that would involve, sorry, I'm straying into other matters, ma'am.
No, that's fine.
That would involve clean water interceptors to make sure that any water which drains from the site is intercepted first to capture any oil leaks, for example, any contamination. But we'll cover that during the conditions session.
Thank you. Could I also speak about density, please?
Yes.
This is where we differ from the Peterborough City Council over density of the site, proposed density of site. The more properties that are on the site and the more people on the site will increase the risk of contamination or adverse effect on the SSSI. So we would go, as Parish Council, go along with the lower density proposed, rather than higher density. And that's all. And
just
that's
to
the reason
clarify that
behind
you
that.
weren't right.
Yeah.
Okay, that you're not objecting to that. Thank you. And I think my understanding is that the statutory consultees in relation to ecological issues have considered the development as in the whole, haven't they?
The whole,
it's the rather than in a piecemeal fashion. So okay. And I'll look at now that we've clarified the points, I'll be able to have a look at whether the points of access to the footpaths are appropriate as well. But I gather you've considered pedestrian safety when you've come to the
correct, yes, yeah, we've no concerns in that respect.
Sometimes the questions are asked, you might think, why is she asking that? But there's your method there, because I may not have asked the question some stage in a former life and been bitten. So. And you've obviously you satisfied that the unilateral undertaking is an appropriate mechanism to secure all of this mitigation.
We are. Thank you, Mary. It's been reviewed by the city solicitor, and he is satisfied that it is enforceable and is appropriate.
Okay. And you're happy that it all, because there were some in your evidence, there was an indication that there were some elements that you weren't happy with at the time, and I think it was matters around the red and blue line boundary issues, etc. So all of those matters.
We're satisfied those have fallen away. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. And did have a question about the benefit, but I think you've already covered that in that it's over and above. So I'm clear on that as to why you've reached the weighting that you both have. I just want to check. This is something I do with everything. It's a standard question that I'd ask with any development. I just want to check that the requirements of the habitat regulations aren't triggered by this proposal. There isn't any designation that relates to the site that anyone's missed or.
No, we're satisfied. Thank you.
Yes, satisfied there, because it's one of my duties to be observant of those and if necessary undertake appropriate assessment. So, but we're happy that there isn't